the drama.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, how you feeling?
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yep.
What do you have in store for us this morning?
Well, today we're actually gonna get our workout in, but usually I kind of wake up, I get myself a little bit of coffee. I like to start on my walking pad, which is inside. Make sure that I'm just ready, put my workout shenanigans on, and we're just gonna get into it. So my go-to is warming up on my little rebounder here. Especially after I got injured, I had to make that decision to know that I had to start my workout off with something that was gonna be fun, but also helpful and warm me up, so.
Very nice, very nice. So what's it been like trying to get back into a workout routine ever since your injury?
It's been challenging. So when I first started getting back into it, I would just pull up any random 15 to 20 minute workout video just so that I could get used to the routine. And then I started to think about the specific exercises that I actually wanted to do.
What's your biggest concern with your workouts right now in terms of like risk of flaring up your injury or anything like that?
My biggest concern is honestly anything that has to do with my arms. When I first got cleared to work out, the biggest ones for me were like dumbbell press or bench press. Any motion where I'm kind of going upwards this way or kind of pressing this way.
What have you noticed the exercise that's been best for rehabilitation after your injury?
Honestly, all of the resistance stuff, because that's pretty much all it was when I was first recovering, is a lot of resistance training. But the very, very first thing, when I was in a sling, he would tell me, okay, you have to take it out at least once a day and do these, I forget what he called, like an elephant something. So it was just like, bend over. He was like, support yourself with something and just, and it was literally the most painful thing. It sucked. You're surprised at how many movements involve your collarbone or that are somehow connected. Like even just like bending down a certain way or something like that could just be an instant pain and you're just like, ah. But yeah, that was definitely the most helpful because of needing to get that motion in so it didn't completely freeze up.
So do you have any advice for anybody who's suffered an injury and trying to get back into activity?
I would just suggest that you take your time. And that's really what everyone told me when I first broke my collarbone is, you need to take your time. They said, wrestling will always be here. And I didn't feel, I was like, no, I have to keep my momentum. I have to keep going. I have to be around. I have to keep at it. And so I came back too soon. And then I broke it the second time. The second time I was like, okay, learn my lesson.
And coming from as being active as you've been, what was the biggest mental hurdle after your injury?
The hardest thing was stopping. I mean, just getting used to stillness. It threw me into a pretty bad depression. But then after some time and after, realizing the first time around that I couldn't just jump right back into it, I knew when I broke my collarbone the second time that I had to still keep my mind active. It was tough mentally going from moving all the time and being so active to just nothing.
What was your support platform? Like, did you have to go through much alone or did you at least have people who tried to help keep you?
Honestly, I was mostly alone. There was a few people that I came up with in wrestling who checked in. I definitely wish that I had more people to rally around me. My best friends are in California, so I had their support from a distance, but it's a little different when you have like people physically there for you,
Heyo!
Hey.
So we're at the scary day, right?
Yes, the scary day.
Why is this a scary day?
Jake is finally back, so he's going to be running training today, and my body's already been hurting. It's kind of like being brand new again. The first couple weeks of training are going to be painful. It'll be good though. It'll be good. It'll be like a test to see kind of how the weekend will go for my match and everything, and I really got to push myself.
Yeah. Does Jake have any techniques or any drills that you're like, I know he's going to put me through X, Y, Z?
I don't know if he will or not, but the drills that I hate are the bag drill, and there's something called like 5-5-5, and those are really tough. I don't mind a lot of the other cardio, but those two are like awful.
Well, I hate to say I hope he puts you through them so I can get it, but I hope he doesn't so you don't have to go through it.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
Yeah. All right, let's get on in there.
process, we decide to commit. How's that feel? Legs go fast.
It hurt. On the second one, I definitely accidentally bumped my head because I didn't fall straight.
It looked good.
So that looks more painful than I'm sure it actually is, but how does all that feel? First time ever taking those exercises versus now.
Well, I mean, like I said, just kind of like coming back after being on a break for so long is, I mean, it's already hard enough on your body, and I already knew today. This is probably the most bumps I've taken in practice, you know what I mean? Versus like just chaining around or working on some other stuff, psychology, cardio, and like now we're like,
Yeah. Yo, Leela, that to me as an outside viewer, that was completely unique. I wasn't expecting to see the drills that you guys did. What is the purpose of these drills, and like how do you take that and how does it relate to a match?
So, I mean, pro wrestling is really just like any other type of martial arts. You know, there are the sections in which we are learning certain moves and learning certain holds, but then we have to be prepared for anything, right? When you are getting down to the nitty gritty, you are on the ground, you're rolling around, and you want to make sure not to, you know, obviously give up your stance while also not completely obliterating the person that you're, you know, that you're with. It's really for cardio purposes to make sure that you keep the intensity the whole time and that you don't lose your mind. And that's also why, if you noticed, I was like the second one to jump in, because that's one of those drills. If you wait too long, I feel like I'll kind of psych myself out. I'm like, I just got to get in there and go because it's like scary. So, yeah.
So, how did training go, and how do you feel about your match coming up?
Look at that. That's how training was. Boo-boos.
It's real.
I mean, it was good, but it hurts. I mean, like I said, when you first start training the first few weeks, like you're gonna be in pain. I told you before, like I had a big old bruise. It was not a good idea. Okay, I do my best work, whether it's, you know, working out, dancing, etc., when I feel like I look good too. So I do put effort into my gym outfits. You'll know what kind of day I'm having if I'm just wearing like sweats and like a baggy t-shirt or something. But it was not a good idea to like open back. When I was hitting the ropes on that last drill, I was like, oh. But I mean, training with Jake is always, it's kind of terrifying training with him, especially getting back into it. And I'm like, oh man, this is a lot. I think when I start to build up my confidence again, I'll feel a little bit better. But even now, it kind of feels like I'm a little bit out of place. Like I'm not even with the people that I first started training with, except for Amari. I kind of know her a little bit more. Yeah, today was a lot, but I'm taking my own advice and breathing.
Very nice. And after all this, how do you feel now about your match coming this Friday?
Still terrified. It's something that Jake has said in practice several times before. Sometimes, you know, doing things in training can be a lot more daunting or a lot more painful and intense because even though we warm up and all that, you're still essentially going in cold for a lot of these things. But that just means when you step into the ring and you're having your matches that you're going to be that much more prepared. But I'm still very nervous. And we will have to just see how it goes.